Hey, Easy Agent Proers, this is Eugene. It is, gosh, what day is it? It is the 15th of April. I'm here to bring you another Go High Level, or another webinar, this time about Go High Level, actually, because if you're not aware, we are actually giving this CRM away to all of our users here today. So that is a big bonus to your subscription. If you don't already have a Go High Level account and you have Easy Agent Pro, make sure to hit up the support team so that we can get you that going. So yeah, we're just going to kind of get right into it and talk about, okay, I have a Go High Level account. I have an Easy Agent Pro website. Like, how can I make sure that that's working for me? Let's do that by starting in our Go High Level dashboard. Over here, we can see that you're going to want to make sure that you're in the right section here to get everything connected. We're going to start with that, okay, let's just get this connected type of thing. So for that, we're going to, let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. There we go. We're going to actually head into our settings section here on the bottom left. And what we need from Go High Level is what's called our API key. The API key is going to connect your Go High Level instance with Easy Agent Pro so that they're essentially talking to each other. And we're going to do that in the Paths app. So let me just copy this key here real quick. And then we're going to head into our Easy Agent Pro website. I've already got the Paths app open here. What you're going to want to do if you are new to the product, let me just get back to the main menu here. We're going to head over here to Paths, and then we're going to click on the settings section. And we're going to click on the active integration section here. And we're going to look for Go High Level. We do connect with a number of CRMs. So if you're using a different CRM, the process here is going to be similar. But for Go High Level specifically, we already have our API key copied. So I'm going to paste that bad boy right in. And that's essentially step one. So we now have everything connected, so our websites are connected. However, it's not necessarily doing anything unless we tell it to. So I'm going to add Go High Level to my default path here by hitting the edit pencil. And then when I click the plus, we're going to have a drop down. Okay, what do we want to happen when a lead comes in on this path that we have called default up here? So we can do a lot of things. I can send a webhook to, let's say, Zapier, for example. Maybe you have a Google Sheet that you're wanting to collect all your leads on. You can do that via a webhook. Maybe you have some assistants that you want to round robin the CRM leads to. You can do that as well. What we're specifically looking for here, though, is Go High Level. And now that we have that connected, it's going to see all of the tags that we have in here. And this is just my test account. So we see that we have a bunch of just like testing tags in there. I'm just going to go ahead and just click new. We'll do a for all tag. And then and it's also going to look into all of the campaigns, or what Go High Level calls workflows. And we have some of those actually pre-generated into your Go High Level account for you. Be on the lookout in the future. We're actually going to be sending some new ones into your Go High Level account if you have an account with us. Today, I'm going to go show you what that all looks like, because these are all just names. We want to know what those do. What does this campaign actually do? So we're going to take a pause here in Paths, and we're going to head back into our Go High Level account. I'm going to back out of my settings here. And then from there, what we've got is all your options for navigation are going to live here on the left. What we're looking for is specifically the workflows, or they're calling it automations here on the left-hand tab. And that's going to take us right into our workflows section. Don't get workflows confused with campaigns, because campaigns have actually been depreciated. You can see that up here. You can still use them if for whatever reason you want to, but I imagine that you're going to want to switch everything into a workflow if at all possible. So we have, again, like I mentioned, we have some pre-generated workflows that we are providing for you into your accounts. One of the ones we're going to talk about here today is going to be the cash offer workflow, because that's going to kind of bleed into our next webinar. Maybe I'm talking about that too soon, but we're going to be talking about Zoodealio next week. So let's just set up a cash offer workflow today that leads into a Zoodealio landing page on your website. And let's just kind of talk about how that works. So this one is called cash offer request. What's going to happen is there's multiple ways to trigger the campaign. So what a trigger is, up here, you can add multiple triggers. What a trigger is how do you want this workflow? How do you want this campaign to start? Maybe you want it to start because a tag was added to your contact. Maybe you want to, let's see what other triggers we have here. Maybe it's their birth date. So you want to send, some kind of birthday reminder or something like that. Lots of different triggers that you can use. So webhooks, if you have a Zapier, you can, trigger something from an outbound website or an outbound form, or maybe you're using like running ads. This would be maybe a high level example of what you would do, but maybe you have some certain event tracking happening on your website. And if a certain goal is met in your Google Analytics, you can webhook that over and start a campaign for something for that user. So again, lots of different ways to do that. We already have our trigger built into paths, because that's actually going to be our trigger, is going to be the path that we're setting up. So this default path, let's set it to trigger, and I already forgot what it's called, cash offer request. So let's find that campaign, cash offer request. I'm not sure if it's this one. It must be, let me see, it might be workflow form. Nope, it's got to be that one. Okay, so now we have our campaign that's being triggered called cash offer request. That is going to do all of these things. So as soon as, let's say that we assign this path to a form that's talking about cash offer, as soon as somebody fills that out, this is all the actions that's going to happen after the trigger has been met. So it's going to tag them seller. We're going to assign to two users. So maybe you have some home selling experts on your team, and you want to make sure that those are the ones assigned. It's going to send an email immediately. These emails are ready to go already out of the box. I would highly recommend, though, going in and personalizing it a little bit, because, you don't want to necessarily use the cookie cutter if you can avoid it. But if you don't have the time, they are ready to go. You can just use these workflows right out of the box. It's going to wait for a minute. Then it's going to send a text message, which is cool. A lot of our users that are switching over from other platforms are excited about Go High Level because of the ability to send these text messages in a workflow. So that, if that's something that you haven't been able to do before, that's definitely something that you're going to be able to do now here with Go High Level, which is pretty cool. Just remember to register your instance using the registration form for text messages, so make sure that that's all kosher. And then, yeah, it kind of goes on from there. This one, I believe, let's see, day 28. This one is a long one. This one's going to go for almost half a year, 141 days, as you can see here. So we're really going to be dripping them with a lot of content. Some other things that you can do is, let me just open up this final check-in email. So there's different variables that you can use into your emails for, so we see one up here, right? So like for contact first name, a lot of the things that you can do in Go High Level revolve around some of those variables. So if maybe the user has their birth date added into the CRM, you can say, hey, I noticed your birthday is coming in on, and then variable or type of thing. So keep that in mind as you're building out your campaigns. A lot of your different options are going to be in some of these submenus up here. So just kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, you can really, really, really personalize these campaigns. You can really make them powerful and automated. Automation is the way to go anymore, obviously, because, hey, I know a lot of y'all have 2,000, 3,000 people in your database. Who can email, text message, contact them all manually, right? Nobody. That's what CRMs are for. So yeah, that's why this workflow here is great. We also have workflow AI that can help to build the workflow for you, give you suggestions, give you verbiage, things like that. So yeah, that is workflows in a nutshell there. So let's talk about how we now tie that all in together with your website. So we have our path. I'm going to set the source as EAP. Actually, let me choose a different campaign. Just if I have like a smaller one. Well, that's okay. I guess I'll just take myself off of this campaign after the fact, not that I'm get dripped for half a year. So let's save this one. And now what we're going to want to do is we're going to need to assign this path to a form, to a landing page on your website, depending on what you're wanting to do here. The easiest way is in the global section here, at least for most of your options. You're going to see that you can assign a path to a lot of the default forms on your website. And by default forms, I mean like the contact me. Let's talk about that real quick. So contact me is going to be your contact and schedule page up here, but it's also going to be this like little widget right here. If somebody were to fill that out, that's going to go down your contact me path. So we would probably want to have some workflow here in Go High Level that matches that, right? It's a new website visitor workflow. And I think we might have some of those. If not, we are definitely working on building a lot of these out for you all as we're really integrating Go High Level into Easy Agent Pro. So look forward to that. Easy CMA is actually the form that we're talking about here today, because Easy CMA is going to be your home evaluation page essentially. So let's set that to the default and let's look at that real quick. So we have, this is your default Easy CMA landing page. We can see the little Easy CMA icon up here telling us that. So if somebody were to fill out this form, it's going to go down this workflow here on Go High Level, which is, as we already found, is going to be like 140 some odd day drip. So that is what would happen there. Let's also look at building out a landing page together for this purpose. So I'm going to open up Squeeze. If you haven't used Squeeze before, this is our landing page generator, one of our many landing page generators, I guess I should say. But this one's pretty easy because it's point and click. So we're just going to quickly create one here. I do believe there is a cash offer specific one. Yeah, here's one. So this Squeeze page actually has a built-in widget for the cash offer. So as you can see down here on the little icons, if you remember, we were just in the Paths app, and this is the little Paths icon. If I were to open that up, I can set this landing page to go down the default path, right? So let's take a pause here real quick. I'm going to create just another path so we can get an idea of why we would want to do this. So let's call this one Cash Offer Leads. I can type today. We're going to want to send this down Go High Level. I'm not sure that I have any cash. There we go. Cash Offer Requested tag. That would probably mean that they are seller. So this is all going to go into my Go High Level with the appropriate tags, and then I can set off a campaign if I wanted to. In this case, I'm going to actually edit this to have the trigger if the tag Cash Offer Requested is added, which we're adding here in our path. It's going to already trigger this campaign. So just kind of showing you all another way to trigger these campaigns. This time we're going to just do it with a tag and let the automations here in Go High Level do their thing. And then, so we're going to just kind of leave that blank for now. And then we're going to set the source as squeeze page cash offer. So let's go ahead and save that. All right, so now back on squeeze, I'm just going to refresh real quick since I just made a change. Let's go create that template again. And now if I were to click into this paths icon, I have a dedicated path for cash offer leads now. So I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And now we know that when somebody fills out this form here, it's going to go down this path, which is going to tag it cash offer requested in and seller in Go High Level. It's going to mark the source as squeeze page cash offer. And then since this workflow is telling the trigger, remember the trigger is like the start. Since the workflow trigger here is cash offer requested, we know that as soon as they get placed into their Go High Level account with this tag, it's just going to start this. So I'm just going to test this out right now. I'm not going to get into editing of the actual squeeze page today. It is very easy though. It's all just kind of point and click. So I can say Eugene was here. Obviously you're probably going to want to, change out your picture to either you or, one of your clients. This image can be swapped out of like what they're going to see in the Zoodealio dashboard if you wanted to personalize it. But essentially this landing page is ready to go. So I'm going to hit continue. I'm just going to use the simple thank you page option on here because we're going to be sending this into our Zoodealio dashboard and our Go High Level. I'll hit continue. So this is a pre-launch checklist. Again, I'm not going to get too deep into squeeze. That maybe can be another webinar, but this is essentially how you can, set the title and the description of your squeeze page, choose the image that's being used as the social share image, set up the follow-up text message from the website, which I would probably recommend not doing since we are, we know that we're sending a text message from Go High Level already. And add a tracking pixel if you need additional tracking on this landing page. I'm going to save this with the title webinar for 15. And whatever you save this is going to be your landing page URL. So if my URL was, eugenetherealtor.com, it would be eugenetherealtor.com/webinar 415. So let's test this out. I don't have Zoodealio connected to this particular instance, but if I did, let's see, I don't even know. I need to think of an address. This was where, this one looks like maybe an address. I don't know. Fill this out here. Oops. All right. And this would all be automated, and I'm going to show you all this next week when we connect Zoodealio to your website. It'll actually pull in like, if it finds the address, it'll pull in, oh yeah, we saw that this has like 4 beds, 3 baths, but that'll be a next week or next webinar type of thing. All right, so I think this is just going to redirect me to my homepage today after I fill this information. But what we're really testing here is, okay, did this trigger this campaign? And if we did everything correctly, hopefully it did, we're going to go into our contacts. And let's see if I might already be a contact in here. So let's search Eugene. There I am. Okay. And then, yeah, see, it's already actually triggered the automation here. So I'm not sure if I should have done a dummy one because I think I've already triggered this campaign. But essentially what will happen is it's going to put all the different tags that we just asked for. So maybe if I refresh, it'll add it in. and then it should trigger the campaign that the person was on. See how it added all my information in here into my account. So yeah, it's for all intents and purposes, we did it. We made this in this 30-minute webinar here. We created a landing page. So we created the drip campaign here in the automations in the workflow, although that was already pre-created for us, and we connected it via paths. So pretty quickly you can get your workflow automated so that you're not having to spend time to, send leads emails, send leads text messages. We just want that to be all automated if possible. And Go High Level is the platform for that. Easy Agent Pro can be your website hub. Go High Level can be your, your CRM to talk to all of your people, make sure that your agents are in there in Go High Level, understand how the workflows work there. And it is very, very powerful. We're really excited to be partnering with them with Easy Agent Pro, and we have some big things coming with that, I think. If it's not there already, here after the webinar, we're going to be pushing a new workflow specifically for Zoodealio. So that's going to be exciting. Look forward to that. If you're not seeing it in the next 24 hours or so, be sure to write into support and we can help you along in the right direction there. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us today. Unless we have any questions in chat, let me go see if there's anything going on in chat real quick. I don't think that I see anything in chat at the moment. So I really appreciate everybody's time here today. If you don't have Go High Level and you have Easy Agent Pro and you're interested, write into support at easyagentpro.com. Look forward to our next webinar on Zoodealio next time, and we will see you all later. Bye-bye.